Di tengah pesatnya perkembangan dunia bisnis dan ekonomi, inilah tempat di mana kreativitas, pengetahuan, dan semangat entrepreneur bersatu. Selamat datang di Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Merdeka Malang adalah tempat bagi para pemimpin masa depan yang memiliki pengetahuan dan keterampilan yang dibutuhkan untuk menghadapi tantangan global. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Merdeka Malang memiliki program studi S1 Akuntansi, Manajemen dan Ekonomi Pembangunan, program Diploma Perbankan dan Keuangan, serta Diploma Akuntansi. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Unmer Malang memiliki tim pengajar yang ahli di bidangnya masing-masing. Dengan pengalaman praktis dan keahlian akademis yang kuat, mereka menjadi mentor dalam mengembangkan potensi mahasiswa. Selain pengetahuan akademis yang mendalam, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Unmer Malang juga memfasilitasi para mahasiswa untuk berpartisipasi dalam berbagai kegiatan di luar kelas. Organisasi mahasiswa, seminar, lokakarya, dan proyek-proyek praktis adalah beberapa contoh kegiatan yang memberikan kesempatan bagi mahasiswa untuk mengasah keterampilan kepemimpinan, kolaborasi, dan inovasi. Fasilitas modern dan teknologi mutakhir turut mendukung proses pembelajaran. Laboratorium komputer, perpustakaan yang lengkap, yang memungkinkan mahasiswa menggali lebih dalam konsep-konsep ekonomi dan bisnis, serta mengembangkan keterampilan analitis mereka. Alumni Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Unmer Malang telah sukses di berbagai bidang industri. Mereka telah mengaplikasikan pengetahuan dan keterampilan yang diperoleh selama studi untuk mencapai kesuksesan dalam karir mereka. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis adalah tempat di mana impian bertransformasi menjadi realitas. Kami undang Anda untuk bergabung dengan komunitas kami, menjadi bagian dari perjalanan yang tak terlupakan untuk menggapai kesuksesan di dunia bisnis dan ekonomi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to say welcome to the very first International Accounting Students Conference organized by Asosiasi Dosen Akuntansi Indonesia and Universitas Merdeka Malang with the theme Multi-Paradigm Perspective on Accounting, Finance and Tax. First, we would like to acknowledge the distinguished speakers of today's conference, Professor Indra Devi from Manipal International University, Malaysia, Dr. Felisa Rubaya from Rizal Technological University from the Philippines, Dr. Kaditson Tatpaupong from Rangsit University, Thailand, Dr. Prihat Asih, MSI, AKCSRS from Universitas Merdeka Malang, Associate Professor Dr. Rahayu A. Rahman from University Technology Mara, Malaysia, Dr. Muhammad Yamin Noh from Universitas Yapis, Papua, Professor Khaled Husaini from University of Portsmouth, United Kingdom, Dr. Ahmad Elamer from Brunei University, London, United Kingdom, Associate Professor Enkeleda Lulach from University Hazi Zaka, Kosovo, and Dr. Arfan Ihsan Lubis from Universitas Negeri Medan, Indonesia. And we would like to extend our warmest greetings to the head of our institution, the chairman of the Foundation of Merdeka Malang, the rectors and vice rectors of the Universitas Merdeka Malang, the director of postgraduate program and the deans of the faculties, and the honorable guests and participants of this seminar. My name is Andini Riswandini, and it is an honor to be your master of ceremonies for today's event. Before we begin with the international conference, I would like to introduce you to the agenda of today's event. First, we will begin the event by listening to our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Next, we will listen to the speech by Dr. Arfan Ihsan as the head of Asosiasi Dosen Akuntansi Indonesia. Welcome greetings and conference opening by Dr. Sunardi, Vice Rector for Cooperation from Universitas Merdeka Malang. Prayer for conference opening. MOU signing, session 1 of the international conference, break and parallel session. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin with our main event, we would like to invite you to listen to Indonesia's national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Please observe the proper decorum for the singing of national anthem. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Arfan Ihsan as the head of organizing committee for this conference.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang mulia Rektor Universitas Merdeka Malang, Bapak Profesor Dr. Anwar Sanusi, SE MSI. Yang mulia Bapak Ibu para invite speaker. Yang mulia Sekjen ADAI Bapak Dr. Ngatemin, MSI. Yang mulia Ketua Panitia IASC 2023, Ibu Dr. Priyan Asih, MSI AK CSRS. Yang mulia co-host, reviewer, moderator IASC 2023, yang saya hormati peserta IASC dan hadirin. Pertama-tama perkenankan saya menyampaikan puji syukur pada Allah Subhanahu wa taala atas limpahan karunia, rahmat dan segala anugerah serta kekuatan sehingga kita senantiasa diberikan semangat untuk terus memperbaiki diri guna mewujudkan pengabdian sebagai sivitas akademika yang memiliki kepedulian sosial atas berbagai permasalahan bangsa sesuai dengan kemampuan kita masing-masing. Sungguh saya bahagia bisa membuka perhelatan IASC yang baik ini dan juga terutama dalam menyambut yang mulia para invite speaker, para co-host, para reviewer, para moderator, dan peserta di Kota Malang yang sejuk dan indah ini. Besar harapan saya agar saudara-saudara semua dapat menikmati keindahan Kota Malang dan menikmati kunjungan Anda ke Malang kali ini. Yang mulia, peserta IASC yang saya hormati, the first International Accounting Student Conference ini merupakan kegiatan agenda tahunan Asosiasi Dosen Akuntansi Indonesia bekerja sama dengan Universitas Merdeka Malang. Konferensi IASC kali ini mengambil tema Multi Paradigms Perspective on Accounting, Finance, and Tax. Tema ini menunjukkan bahwa bidang-bidang ilmu ini dapat dipahami dan dikembangkan dari berbagai paradigma. Yang mulia, peserta IASC yang saya hormati, Konferensi Internasional IASC 2023 ini diikuti setidaknya 32 co-host dan ratusan peserta yang tersebar dari Aceh sampai Papua. Setidaknya ada 85 paper yang kami terima secara mandiri. Maksudnya bahwa pesertanya adalah para mahasiswa yang mengirimkan paper secara mandiri tanpa melalui co-host. Selebihnya kami juga menerima paper dari masing-masing co-host yang berpartisipasi dalam kegiatan ini. Konferensi ini dapat terwujud berkat kerjasama sebagai berbagai pihak dan dimaksudkan sebagai forum yang memberikan kesempatan kepada peneliti, praktisi, mahasiswa, dan dosen akuntansi untuk menyampaikan hasil penelitian dan kajian tentang akuntansi, finance, and tax. Diharapkan dengan adanya International Conference ini, maka akan terdapat sinergi berbagai pihak yang memberikan sumbangsih pemikiran dalam menghadapi persaingan ke depan, apalagi perguruan tinggi saat ini dituntut untuk memperbaiki dan meningkatkan akreditasinya. Yang mulia, peserta IASC yang saya hormati, kesuksesan penyelenggaraan IASC ini dapat terlaksana karena kontribusi yang luar biasa dari berbagai pihak. Oleh karena itu, kami, pengurus Dewan Pimpinan Pusat Asosiasi Dosen Akuntansi Indonesia, mengucapkan terima kasih dan penghargaan yang tulus kepada Rektor dan seluruh sivitas akademika Universitas Merdeka Malang atas perhatian dan bantuannya sehingga acara IASC dapat berjalan dengan baik lancar, dan aman. Selanjutnya, tidak lupa kami mengucapkan juga terima kasih yang setinggi-tingginya kepada 1. Rekan-rekan pengurus DPP ADAI, 2. Peserta pemakalah dan non-pemakalah yang hadir dan mengirimkan makalah dalam konferensi internasional ini, 3. Pembicara panel sessions atas kesediaannya untuk memberikan pengalaman dan pemikirannya yang berguna kepada peserta konferensi, 4. Para co-host yang telah membantu terselenggaranya IASC ini, 5. Dan semua pihak yang telah membantu dan mensukseskan penyelenggaraan IASC pertama ini. Hasil penelitian yang dimuat dalam buku chapter ini diharapkan dapat memotivasi para peneliti untuk dapat lebih berkarya sehingga dapat menghasilkan karya yang dapat bermanfaat bagi masyarakat. Dengan mengucapkan Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, IASC 2023 ini saya nyatakan resmi dibuka. Akhirnya kami mohon maaf apabila ada sesuatu hal yang kurang berkenan dalam penyelenggaraan IASC pertama ini. Selamat berkonferensi dan semoga Allah Subhanahu wa taala meridhoi setiap langkah tulus yang kita lakukan. Amin amin amin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Arfan Ihsan. Next, we would like to invite Dr. Sunardi to open this conference.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Selamat pagi, selamat siang, selamat malam, Bapak Ibu sekalian. Salam sejahtera bagi para hadirin yang berbahagia. Pertama-tama, izinkan saya untuk menyampaikan rasa syukur dan kebahagiaan yang mendalam atas hadirnya kita semua di acara pembukaan International Student Conference in Accounting ini. Acara ini merupakan momen yang sangat penting dan berarti bagi kami, karena menghadirkan para mahasiswa dari berbagai belahan Indonesia yang berkumpul untuk berbagi pengetahuan, pengalaman, dan ide-ide brilian dalam bidang akuntansi. Acara ini membawa kita bersama-sama dalam semangat kolaborasi dan keberagaman, di mana batas-batas negara dan budaya tidak lagi menjadi penghalang untuk mencapai tujuan bersama. Semangat ini sejalan dengan tema besar konferensi kali ini, yaitu inovasi dan kolaborasi dalam akuntansi untuk masa depan yang berkelanjutan. Dalam era globalisasi yang semakin kompleks, kami percaya bahwa inovasi dan kolaborasi adalah kunci untuk mengatasi tantangan akuntansi yang muncul, serta untuk menciptakan masa depan yang berkelanjutan dan inklusif. Kehadiran saudara di sini adalah bukti nyata dari komitmen kita untuk memajukan ilmu akuntansi dan menghadapi perubahan dunia yang penuh semangat ini. Kita percaya kesempatan langka untuk belajar dari berbagai perspektif, pengalaman dan metodologi yang berbeda-beda. Mari kita manfaatkan acara ini sebagai wadah untuk berdiskusi, berdebat, untuk merangkai ide-ide cemerlang yang akan membawa dampak positif bagi dunia akuntansi dan masyarakat pada umumnya. Selain itu, pada kesempatan yang berbahagia ini, kami juga akan menandai peristiwa yang sama-sama penting, yaitu penandatanganan Memorandum of Understanding antara universitas kami dengan universitas mitra dari berbagai universitas. MOU ini akan menjadi landasan bagi kerjasama lebih lanjut, termasuk pertukaran mahasiswa, penelitian bersama, dan pengembangan kurikulum yang relevan untuk kebutuhan dunia bisnis saat ini. Sekali lagi, saya ingin menyambut hangat para pembicara dari luar negeri, serta seluruh peserta yang telah bergabung dengan kita hari ini. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada panitia yang telah bekerja keras untuk mensukseskan konferensi ini, dan kepada para dosen serta staf universitas yang telah memberikan dukungan penuh. Saya berharap acara ini akan menjadi kesempatan berharga untuk memperluas jaringan, memperdalam pemahaman, dan menciptakan kenangan yang tak terlupakan. Semoga konferensi ini akan membawa dampak positif bagi pengembangan ilmu akuntansi di masa depan dan mempererat hubungan antar daerah dan antar bangsa. Terima kasih, salam berjaya, dan selamat mengikuti International Student Conference in Accounting ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Sunardi. Now let's pray together so our event today will be blessed and run successfully. Thank you. Our honorable guests and participants, before we begin with the main event of this conference, let's proceed to the meeting room again for the MOU signing between Universitas Merdeka Malang and some of the partners universities co-hosting this conference. While most of the MOU signing will be conducted desk to desk, the MOU signing today is attended by representatives of two universities which include Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa and Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia Jakarta. Can the representative from Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa University take place for the MOU signing? While waiting, we would also like to extend our warm welcome to the delegates from Universitas Hairun Ternate and from Universitas Negeri Medan. Welcome to Malang. Okay, we can begin with the MOU signing. Okay, now we will have the souvenir exchange between Universitas Merdeka Malang and Universitas Sarjana Wiyata Taman Siswa. The souvenir exchange will be given by our Vice Director for Human Resource, Dr. Prihat Asih. And followed by the photo session. Thank you. Now we will move on to the Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia Jakarta. Can the representatives from Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia Jakarta take place for the MOU signing? Okay, can you please kindly show the signed MOU to the camera and we can have the photo session. Thank you. The photo session will be followed by souvenir exchange. Okay, before the souvenir exchange, we will have the photo session, followed by all the participants and all the delegates from Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia, Jakarta. Okay, for all the students and the delegates from Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama, Jakarta, welcome to Malang. We hope that you can enjoy your stay in Malang here for this weekend for the conference. Okay. We will have the souvenir exchange again given by our Vice Rector for Human Resource, Dr. Prihat Asih, to the representative from Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Indonesia, Jakarta. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally begin with our main section of today's event, which is the first International Accounting Students Conference organized by Asosiasi Dosen Akuntansi Indonesia and Universitas Merdeka Malang, with the theme Multi-Paradigm Perspective on Accounting, Finance and Tax. Before we begin with our main event, I would like to thank you for joining us in Zoom meeting platform. You can also join us in our YouTube live streaming channel at Unmut channel. Please allow me to read the Zoom meeting instructions for the webinar participants. All of the participants must have their camera on at all times during the webinar. Please use the virtual background that will be provided in the chat box. If you have any questions, please feel free to interact with today's speaker. Kindly type in your questions in the Zoom meeting chat box. Please state your name, your organization or affiliation, followed by your questions. We will read the questions at the end of speaker presentation. Before we move on to our next session, can we please have another photo session together? This time is all of us, not only the guests in the MOU meeting room. Can you please turn on your camera and use our virtual background? I will ask our IT staff to take this screenshot. Are you ready for the screenshot? Okay, I will count 1, 2, 3. Smile. Now we will take the screenshot for the first slide. Thank you. Second slide. Fourth slide. Fifth slide. Sixth slide. Okay, are we done? Thank you very much. Okay, once again, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of today's conference will be moderated by Ms. Tri Nadila, MSI, AKCA, CAPF. Once again, thank you and see you again soon. Ms. Trinadila,
Yes, I'm
the
here.
time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Andini. Okay, baik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, good morning all. Yes. First of all, let's thanks to Allah SWT who has given us some mercies and blessings today. And salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has saved the community, society from the darkness to the likeness, from who doesn't know anything to knowledgeable person. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to International Accounting Student Conference. The title is Multi-Paradigm Perspective on Accounting, Finance, and Tax. Yeah. Organized by Asosiasi Dosen Akuntansi Indonesia and hosted by Universitas Merdeka Malang, Indonesia. Okay, hello, my name is Renadila. I'm from IAIN Loksmawe, Aceh. Yeah, I will serve as your moderator today. So hopefully that you can discuss anything from our guest speakers. Yeah, we have 4 speakers from Malaysia, from Thailand, from the Philippines, and also from Indonesia. Okay, so let's start from the first speaker. We will invite guest speaker from Malaysia, Prof. Indra Devi. Okay, from Manipal International University. Hello, Prof.
Hi,
Indra.
morning. Hi, morning. I'm here.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I share the screen, please? Yeah.
Okay. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So wait a minute. Okay, time is yours to present your presentation. Thank you.
Would I be able to share the slides, Tria? Can I share the slides?
Okay, sure. I will to make you co-host first.
Yes, please.
Okay, maybe the committee, can you help me to give the
co-host Almira to help me?
Okay, Miss Almira.
I will try to put it in.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you. May I start, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Moderator, Tria. Selamat pagi and a very good morning to the conference organizers, esteemed guests, professors, lecturers, cherished students, and ladies and gentlemen. Now, a very special thanks to the conference chair, Dr. Adai Iksan from Adai, and Prof. Dr. Anwar Adzanasi from Universitas Merdeka Malang for inviting me to be a speaker in this International Accounting Students Conference with the theme Multi-Paradigm Perspective on Accounting, Finance, and Tax. Now, this is an interesting theme. As you see, if you look at the theme per se, the conference theme, a multi-paradigm perspective on accounting, finance, and tax. Now, if you were to define that, it simply refers to the multiple viewpoints to understand and address complex issues and challenges in the accounting education. Now, while these 3 areas make up the core subjects in an accounting program, it is important for accounting educators and students to explore the changing needs of the accounting profession. Now, we've been very much involved in traditional knowledge and technical assimilation of knowledge. So what we now need to look at is bringing accounting education parallel with the industry. So this is where, while we are looking at multi-paradigm perspectives in 3 different areas, 3 core areas of the program, we also need to look at the changes in the accounting profession. Basically, we are looking at the industry per se. The accounting profession, if you look at it, has been continuously evolving due to factors such as technology advancements, regulatory changes, globalization, and changing business practices. Now, the changing business practices have been very rampant lately, especially after the post-COVID, and therefore, we have to be ready for all these so-called events or even turbulence that we have in the system when it comes to business practices. Sometimes we are not even looking at the turbulence, we are smoothly moving into business practices as if business will exist forever. However, what we don't realize is that the business practices can go into turbulence as well. And this latest COVID-19 had been a turbulence to the business practices. Now, with these changes to the profession, the accounting higher education faces several challenges that require attentiveness and adaptation to meet the evolving needs of students, the accounting profession, and the business world. So when you look at it, the changing needs of the accounting profession demands building on and developing new competencies for accounting education. So we do not only stay on what we have and build on what we have, but we also need to develop new competency as we move on in our daily life, and for that matter, with the progress in the global business world. Now, researchers have found, if you look at, this is me, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to look at accounting education, and I'm going to propose a competence framework based on what's happening in the current business world. So students who are going to be graduates soon, students are going to go out there for employment, need to understand there are certain competencies that are required for proper, or put it another way, for employability. Now, these employability skills are so crucial these days because the globalization of businesses, at the same time, the changes in the environment has created a lot of differences in the way accounting education has turned into. So researchers have found, if you look at what's happening here, the accounting profession, as he said, has evolved. Now, let me just move a little bit. What we need to now look at how these several changes that has been going on in the accounting education can be addressed. Capabilities of accounting graduates have changed. What is sought after by researchers now, what researchers have found is that IT proficiency, knowledge, technical knowledge, and programming skills and problem solving have become very important part of accounting education. One of the most important is IT. Now, while we're looking at IT, there's also one important element that we need to look at is no matter where we head to, whether it's knowledge, IT, or even we're looking at problem solving, ethics and professional skills is part and parcel of accountants. And therefore, accounting education must assimilate this professional skills, or what we call as professional ethics, in their curriculum. Okay, so accounting education needs to reflect and produce graduates that possess the skills for employment market. If you look at it further, industry relevant accounting education bridges the gap between academic theory and practical application. So this is where we want to bring our accounting students into a more practical aspect, bringing them to look at real world roles, and also giving them the competency to get into a job without having to fear. There are many cases that we find accounting students have gone into an audit office or have joined the audit firm and couldn't even last 2 months or even a month because they could not take the pressure, or they could not understand the applicability of what they have done in theory. So on that basis, what I would like to propose is I would like to propose a competency framework that will provide a better understanding of what is expected by employers. Now, this is not limited, but I'm just giving a broad view. What I'm going to try to look at is to look at how we can try to bridge the gap between industry as well as the accounting education, or put it another way, accounting in the higher institutes of learning. Industry relevant skills in accounting education can be broadly classified into 4 components. I'm going to classify them into 4 components. So if you look at the 4 components, you have IT proficiency, knowledge, experience, and personal attributes. Now, I've proposed these areas under 4 categories of 4 components. The first component is technical competence. The second component is technological competence, and then practical competence, and finally, professional and ethical competence. Now, while we have the first 3, which are being assimilated into our curriculum, technical, technology, and even practical, professional ethical competence must be embedded in every part of our syllabus, because with IT becoming such a fast-moving tool for the current business world and for accountants, there's always a chance of manipulation, a chance of what I call fraud taking place, cyber crimes taking place. So this is why professional ethical competence is a very important part of accounting education. Beside the fact that you should be technically savvy, you should have technological savviness, as well as the so-called practical ability to apply what you have studied. Okay? So I've come up with this proposed framework, where if you look at the framework clearly, I have the technical competence, which I believe are very important for accounting students. Now, if you look at technological competence, we are looking at moving towards Industry 4.0, Industrial Revolution 4.0, or the fourth industrial revolution. Now, accounting software, now every company, whether it's a small, medium, or even large organizations, have now gone into computerizing the accounting. So accounting software is obviously a must. And this, I think, most universities in, no, I wouldn't say most, all universities in Malaysia have already embedded. And I believe globally, this has also been embedded in the accounting curriculum. Data analytics, this is something that is becoming fast growing. Data analytics is very important because there's always a need for accountants who are able to analyze data and make decisions. So data analytics is a skill that you have to also acquire. And this must be brought into the accounting curriculum for our accounting graduates to become more employable, or put it another way, be more ready for employment. Cloud-based solutions should also be some way of looking at it. Online learning has become a norm these days after COVID-19. Automation and AI in accounting. Now, how are we going to sort all this? AI brings us to the major issue of ChatGPT now becoming a very big challenge for universities as to how do we cope with students looking into ChatGPT for solutions. So these are things that we need to handle when we look at the accounting education. Now, from a technical competence, this has been always a traditional role that accountants have been, or rather the accounting education has been showcasing. That is the core subjects in accounting, for example, financial accounting, concepts, standards, finance formulas, tax regulation, auditing procedures, decision-making, budgeting. All these are technical competence which make a traditional and a very current part of technical knowledge that you have to acquire to become an accountant. Now, the third thing that we are looking at is practical competence. Now, in Malaysia, to be all accounting degrees have to go through a 6-month internship program. That practical experience provides the competence that they need for employability in the future. So therefore, real world experience through internship, co-op programs, that means you do programs with the intention of learning, simulated business scenarios or case studies can all be applied and in order to make theoretical knowledge more applicable or more practical. So that's the three major components that we are looking at. And the fourth component is that whether it's technological competence, whether it's technical competence, whether it's practical competence, the most important role or code that accountants must possess is professionalism and ethical competence. IFAC has come up with a code of ethics, and this code of ethics is something that is global for all, and all accounting students should be able to understand the code of ethics of accountants. So basically, competence from a proposed broad perspective comes into a fourfold picture. While the fourfold picture is there, ethics is in every part of the three major areas: technology, technical, and practical. Because even in practice, there is unethical behavior. Technical competence can also be manipulated. Technological fraud can always take place. So these are things that we look at when we look at a competence framework for accounting graduates. Now, if I were to look at the multi-paradigm of each of this, technical competence, multi-paradigm, we go back to the theme of the conference. We are looking at strong accounting principles, financial reporting standards. Graduates must be well versed in accounting concept, must be able to prepare financial statement. If you can't prepare a financial statement or analyze the data, that shows that you are short of your technical competence. Now, the key areas or the core subjects that you must be fully competent about when you become an accountant would be financial accounting, managerial accounting, taxation, auditing, information system, and of course, many other management papers. So typically, these are areas that we are looking at in technical, but this is not limited to just the subjects. Now, when you look at the paradigm of practical competence, we are looking at real world experiences. Now, one way to gain this real world experiences is sending our students into a one semester abroad, where they can actually, this is something that we are proposing as well in our university, hoping to get our students into a mobility situation where they do not just have Malaysia as a context of learning, but they go beyond Malaysia to become more a global accountant rather than just a Malaysian accountant. So real world experiences, we are also tying up with universities, with Indonesia, with Canada, and even in UK to get that experience that our students need in terms of practical competence. We also have integrated learning opportunities. This is where we are talking about cooperative education programs and also internship. Now, in Malaysia, internship for accountants is a must for 6 months in order to graduate as a accounting graduate. Practical skills can be in the area of accounting, can be in the area of taxation, can be in the area of auditing, or even in the area of managerial accounting, this being the major core subjects in accounting. Now, the next area that I'm going to look at is the multi-paradigm on the technological competence. Now, when we look at technological competence, now this is something which is growing and never ending. It's forever evolving. Every day we hear of something new. The latest challenge that educators have is the ChatGPT. So similarly, when we look at accounting education, we are faced with many different tools and IT skills that we need to acquire or need to be able to deliver to our accounting graduates so that when they go out to find a job, they become more employable, or put it another way, they're able to find employment in a more practical way, rather than having to look into areas which are non-accounting. So when we look at technological competence, I believe technology integration is always there in the accounting curriculum. For example, in accounting curriculum, we have one program called Information System, and we also use accounting software where we allow our students to have a hands-on accounting software. That this is limited to 1 or 2 software. But data analytics and business intelligence is very much a new thing. And therefore, if your curriculum is just developed, it takes 5 years before you change into more data analytics and business intelligence. So we can only introduce changes gradually, as we know that data analytics and business intelligence keep growing. So our curriculum need to be updated more on an annual basis rather than a 5-yearly basis. Now, when we say annually, in Malaysia, we are allowed to annually revise the syllabus which we have to a certain percentage. Now, this is where we can use the opportunity to update our accounting syllabus, and therefore accounting students have the privy to data analytics and business intelligence. And when they go out seeking for jobs, they are more marketable. Integration of blockchain. Now, this is another very common thing these days. And if we look at blockchain, this is growing very big. This is another area that we should encourage our accounting students to understand, and we should include it in the curriculum. Cybersecurity and data privacy is another area when we talk about technological competence, because this has become a very fast-growing area where IT has superseded everything, and risk and security have become tagging along situation. So therefore, cybersecurity and data privacy must be also in par with all the developments that we have. Like, for example, in the case of ChatGPT, ChatGPT has gone in a very high scale, but Turnitin has not, or now they have detected. But when it came out, there was no gadgets that could detect plagiarism from ChatGPT. So these are things that we say we are lagging. So we are looking at IT moving very fast, and the cybersecurity and data privacy has to be in parallel with that development. Cloud-based accounting solutions are becoming very norm these days. These are things that our students should have. Our accounting students should be competent when they go out to look for a job. Now, the next thing is the final one, is the multi-paradigm professional competence. Now, when you're an accountant, you don't just talk about technical knowledge or being IT savvy. You must be able to communicate clearly and effectively, and you must have the critical thinking ability to analyze the data that you have in front of you for better decision making. You must be a problem solver, and you must be able to manage time. as we know that we train our students to manage time effectively. So likewise, we need to train them to look at accounting from a time management perspective, because we have deadlines to meet, and therefore that should be also incorporated in the professional skills. Now, the final one, which includes also ethics. Now, I'm going to bring in IFAC's ethics here. IFAC has introduced some ethical values: integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, and professional behavior. Now, every accountant or every accounting student should instill these qualities so that accounting education provides that particular knowledge and what you call instilling that particular ethical value in our students, so that when they go out as graduates, they do not commit crime, or they do not have they do not commit fraud, because you understand a lot of fraud these days, sometimes they are linked to accountants. So this is where we need to very strongly enforce professionalism and ethical values in our accounting students, so that they become better individuals, better graduates who can carry your university reputation in a higher manner. Right? So let's summarize what we had today. So basically, when you look at the whole issue, technical competence is something which is very, very important in accounting education. And when we look at the multi-paradigm technical competence, finance, accounting, taxation are part of the technical core that we need to instill or need to ensure that students acquire. Then we also need to ensure this theoretical competence that they have obtained in the classroom cannot stop there, but it must be applied in the workplace. So therefore, we give them the exposure of a practical competence through internship, and that internship should be able to provide better facilities. Technological competence, we have mentioned all that we need to do, Kat, in terms of becoming IT savvy, and professional skills and ethical competence. I've mentioned to you how the soft skills are very important part of becoming an accountant. Now, with all this 4 important competence framework of competent components that I put in my framework, I would like to conclude that combining all this, accounting graduates can form a strong foundation for a successful and ethical career in accounting profession. So accounting educators need to instill these factors or these components when they look at the curriculum. The 4 aspects work together to create a well-rounded accounting professional who can adapt to the dynamic needs of the field and contribute positively to the organization as well as society. Now, with this, I end my session, and I hope that if you have any questions, I'm willing. I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to take questions now or later. Ms. Tia, is there questions now or later?
We can make Q&A now, ma'am.
Okay, Ken. All right. I'm ready for any questions and answer from this. Yeah.
All right. Okay, Miss Almira, can you take down the slide? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. Indra Devi. It's a wonderful presentation, by the way. So it's interesting about that, how we can as a content, we can get another competence, so that we can survive in the accountant world. Okay, actually that, ladies and gentlemen, you can ask direct, or you can write on the box, the chat box. Maybe you can get some question to Prof. Indra Devi. So please feel free to ask directly. You can show the raise hand. Okay. While we waiting the participant to give a question, so I want to ask something. It's interesting. I like to but the topic is about the competence of accountant. So what do you think about some of people said accountant will replace by the robots, by the systems. So how about career as accountant? Maybe that we defer to the future. So what do you think, Prof. Indra Devi?
Well, it's a question which is still like chicken and eggs situation, because when we look at the going trend, there's always a party that says that accountants will not be needed. But let me put it this way. Eventually, decision making comes from accountants who need to look at the data and who need to analyze the data. So maybe the entry-level accountants or the entry-level graduates need, that's why I say the skill must be upskilled. If you don't upskill it, your entry-level education or entry-level accountants may just become data input graduates. So what you need to look at is moving forward, moving upwards, getting all this competence right to be able to make decisions. So yes, there have been a lot of stories about, wow, robots are going to take over. Well, I would say at this point in time, no. But the way ChatGPT is going, we never know in another 10, 20 years time what will happen. Currently, definitely a no. Currently, definitely. Because you still need human intervention for decision.
Okay, thank you for
Any questions?
So we need that as a human, we need the analysis data, and then we can make decisions. So we still our brain, right?
Yes,
Our, like you
exactly.
said, that critical thinking.
Yeah, that's why I say technologically, data analytics has become the in thing. They do all the, you just click a button and you get the analysis. Now, who is going to read, analyze, and decide? It's back to the accountants. The accountants must be able to read, analyze, and interpret the data to provide the best decision. So humans are still required in the accounting field, trust me. Without them, I think it'll probably take another 25 to 30 years before we can think of no accounting jobs.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. Indra Devi. Okay, all participants, do you have question? Okay. All right. So maybe that one question for me, ma'am. So what do you think that how we can, as accountant, new accountant, as to keep our integrate from our position?
Sorry, I didn't get that. How do we?
Yeah. How we can to keep our integrate? I mean that like something. This is that you said is about the professional competence.
Integrity.
Something. Integrity.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, this is something which is very important, because integrity is basically a value that each of us possess. Because it's not like integrity comes natural, by teaching as well. It's also a very value-based thing, a belief system. So, for example, if your values have been brought up, your bringing up values are also good. But as an accounting educator, we need to instill values that will create a professional ethical skill. So we are looking at professional ethical skills, where you need to say what you can do and what you cannot do. So integrity is very important, because otherwise we will end up like Enron. After Anderson lost his whole business because of integrity issues. So therefore, lessons like Enron are brought into the classroom. So in auditing, in accounting, in risk management, we bring all this into the classroom to make sure that no matter what you do, you'll be caught.
Yes.
Isn't it? No matter what you do, you'll eventually be caught, because accounting has a check and balance system.
Yes, sure. But the honesty, because that my professor said with me that as accountant, we can see that the right side is to go to hell and the right side go to prison. It's mean that we have to integrity so that we can to go strike.
Well said, exactly. Yes. Eventually you'll be caught. Okay.
Okay. Terima kasih. Thank you so much, Prof. Indra Devi. I think that if the all participants still have a question, you can to send by chat or via email, and then we can ask to Prof. Indra Devi. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much. Thank
you. See you again, Prof. Indra Devi from Manipal International University, Malaysia. Thank you. Okay. Next, we will invite the speaker, Dr. Kanit Pong Pong from Thailand. Yes.
Hi.
Hello,
Hello,
Dr.
everyone.
Katie. Yes.
Hi, good morning. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Kanitsun Pong Pong from Rangsit University, Thailand.
Yes, correct. That's
Okay,
correct.
yes.
Thank you very much for
Yes.
pronouncing my name and also for the kind invitation to join to this IASC conference 2023. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I see that you have the huge number of the audience here, but I believe that maybe majority of the audience is the students, right? From Indonesia. I am also the professor at the university. Then I think what I will try to present here will link to Professor Indra Devi very much, because this is the trend of the world now. I will share
Okay.
the screen right now. Is it okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay,
So-
let me share the screen. Okay. All right, you see the screen, right?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
If you
with
have,
pleasure.
if you have any questions along the way that I make the presentation, you can make it. Don't have to wait until at the end of my presentation. I think it's kind of we like to present and also to discuss with you guys. Okay, you are welcome to interact me or to ask me any questions. Okay. The topic today that I like to present to you all, it is about the same, unleashing power of AI. Now, but I will stress the power of AI in transforming the accounting landscape. Okay, because several people have talked about the negative thing and also positive things of AI, but in terms of having the impact on accounting career, it seems like accounting career has been disrupted a lot by the advancement of AI. Okay, and then I like to present to you all about this one. I think every one of us knows about AI, artificial intelligence. Okay, this one cannot believe that it was actually developed and introduced to us since 1955. That was even you were born. Okay, and also it has been advancing. It has been developed more and more. And nowadays, then when we are talking about AI, I think everyone knows. But back to 15 years ago, perhaps not. Okay, perhaps we don't have full understanding, or even now, we might not have a full understanding of the capabilities of AI. Okay, but it's something that we learn along the way. Okay, and this one has changed a lot. If we are talking about AI, then one of the things that might come into our mind is about the big data. Because right now it's not the single data or limited quantity of data, but we put it in a word of big data. Okay, then there's a 5 V's. Okay, 5 V's that involved in the big data. If we understand that in the era of AI, okay, we have we have many changes into our world in terms of 5 V that big data brings to us, that AI bring to us. Okay, let me emphasize on this 5 V first. Okay, you can take a look at this slide and then get some idea. Because when we are talking about accounting, sometimes we look at the data that is very structured data. Okay, we have the financial data, we have got the information from maybe from the receipts, and then we put that as a do the bookkeeping, right, to record the transactions that are very structured data. But we are talking about the big data. It may be different. Number one, the volume. The first V, the volume. volume in this case is if you look at this one, the volume here, let me bring, okay, that never mind. Okay, with the volume, now the massive of data come to us, right? Then we have a lot of data nowadays. And the transactions, if we are talking about accounting transactions, is also huge. Okay, the data is huge and the speed is also fast. Fast until like even one blink of an eye, like right now, the data comes to us, a huge data, okay? And it comes with the lightning speed and the variety of data, okay? The type of data are also variety, because when we are talking with AI, the big data that we are dealing with is not just the structured data, but it could be structured data, could be semi-structured or unstructured at all. You know, it could be pictures, right, that AI can deal with. The pictures that, when we are talking about the skies, the blue skies, the birds, the natural environments as such, you know, it's not the structured data. It might come in the form of picture. It might come in the form of the sound, you know, and that one can be interpreted and can be quantified in the AI era. Okay, and accuracy, that's the veracity, that's the fourth V. The veracity of the data is quite accurate. I said maybe not 100% accurate, but it's more accurate at some point than human, And we can take such data to add value. That is the last V. The data right now, there is an expression says, data is the new gold, okay? Or information, data is the new gold. How come it's a new gold? Okay, it's very valuable. Therefore, if you have the data, okay, then you can deal with a lot of things. That is the kind of the first characteristics of the data in the era of AI. Okay, and then I think Professor Indra Devi already mentioned, but I like to support her statements that the impact of AI is huge on accounting field. Okay, now if we are talking about AI in the financial field or accounting field, the same. They are the related disciplines. AI is if we use the AI-based application, say we are talking about the blockchain, we are talking about using the software application, using the AI application into our work. And this one, the AI can carry out more advanced works, you know, and can replace human labor. That is maybe something that you might be scared of, you know, but we have the medicine, we have the remedy for that, okay? For example, in accounting work, we have the tasks in accounting that are very repetitive characteristics and in very high volume. Say, like if you have to record the transactions, you know, we learn as accounting students, we learn how to record the transactions, right? But in the AI era, we don't have to record such. We don't, you know, if it is the company use the AI application that is very advancement, then just scan the data, just scan the document. The transaction will be recorded right away and posting it right away and prepare for the financial statements right away. Okay, then we can issue the financial statements every day. Don't have to say every day, every hours, every minute we want. Okay, that is the power of AI. And AI can, the AI technology can also automate these basic works. Okay, then it's very important for us to understand the AI, what the AI is capable of. For the manual bookkeeping, for the accounting reports, for the statistics summary, this can be done in the past. We will do this one, but now it is replaced by AI. AI can do such thing. The works can be automated. Okay, and also the complex accounting process can be dismantled. It means that it can split off, into pieces and then can be done by the AI. Okay, the work done by AI application is also efficient as well. If you have been involved using the AI application. Therefore, in this part, I like to compare. And you see the two blocks here. One is the left, which is the past accounting work. Okay, and the right block on your right, it's the AI technology. What are the AI technologies can help? I have highlighted in red for you. Of course, when we do accounting ourselves, with normal works and sometimes with the human error, so it's inevitably that we will make errors in accounting. So, for example, maybe if we do it manually, we can record it incorrectly, or we cannot find the error. If something happened in the financial statements, we might not be able to find it quickly enough. But the use of the AI technology can improve the quality of work. Okay? And the accuracy is also more from using the AI. When we say the AI technology in this case, it could be the advanced technology, the software, accounting software that we use. Okay. And also the basic and repetitive data. Okay, for the normal tasks, accounting tasks, this one will be done by the software or the AI. Okay, this one will reduce the demand of the companies or the enterprises at the low-level accountants. The demand for the operations of the accountants at the basic level and not the middle or the high level will be reduced. And also, once we reduce the number of the accountants in the company because it's replaced by the application, then the cost, the salary expense that we pay, the company pay, right? The enterprises pay to their employees will also be reduced remarkably. And then this one, AI in this era can meet the high-end need of the financial modelings and also computing lots of complicated data using the AI, and also process both structured and unstructured data. Then in this case, the enterprises can perhaps if the management adopt the AI, the efficiencies of the operations will be improved. Okay. Also, the challenges that AI bring to accounting. This is some point that Professor Indra already said, that maybe we need to develop about our curriculum. Okay? Because you are, I think the persons who attend this conference are both accounting students and accounting professors. Okay? This thing is very challenging for the accounting programs, accounting school at the moment, because the community or the companies or the customers, the stakeholders require the better performance from us, okay, from the companies, from the accountants. Okay, therefore the programs that you learn Okay, the person who in charge in the program, accounting program at the university, need to look at or monitor or try to look at the demand from the stakeholders and make the adjustments to the program. Then the programs that the student learned at the university must be adapted to the demand of the society. Okay. Also, the accountants ourselves right now, maybe most of you are students, right? Then you have time, but it's quite limited. Okay, quite limited. It's not a lot. It's not a lot because normally for the undergrad program, it is 4 year, right? Is it 4 year programs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The same
Yes.
here. The
Yeah.
same here. And in Thailand, there is a trend. The students like to finish the program quickly. I think the same in Indonesia or in Asian countries. You know, it is like this. Then what is it? We don't have much time because 4 year is very limited. Right now, if you are year 2, if you are year 3 students, you already have, if you are year 3, you have only 1 year left to learn. Okay, even though we say that it's the lifelong learning, but you have to take the most of the accounting student status while you are at the university to prepare yourself for the future career. Okay, then the accountants, as you are going to be, if you choose that career, you should learn some advanced technology. And the software, the accounting programs, or the computer programs that is needed. Of course, Excel, we don't have to talk about the Microsoft Excel because it's very normal that everyone should be able to comprehend and excel about it. Okay, and also we need to have the certain knowledge about the some accounting software, some accounting or the AI application. Everyone talks about the ChatGPT and use the ChatGPT a lot, you know, but there are also other applications, other software apart from the ChatGPT. You know, some also very good one. Okay, and the accounting, the AI knowledge is something that the accounting students need to acquire. Also, another thing that AI brings the challenges to the accounting field is the financial data security, because from now we will not do the accounting records on paper, right? We do on a computer, and not just only on a computer, we do it on the network, on cloud. The data is recorded on cloud system and share the cloud system data between the managements, between the branches, and the businesses in the world is also enlarging to other corner of the world. Therefore, the data security is very important. This is something that several people also talk about the challenges that, because this one, it seems like we, like our information, even like Facebook, some people said Facebook, my Facebook is hacked by someone, you know, even that's a small information and personal information as such, it's still harmed by the hacker, right? And let alone the financial data of the companies. It's very important. Therefore, the data security, data protection is something that brings to the face of the accounting that we need to deal with. How are we going to deal with that? Okay, then we have to have the system in place to protect their data. We need to also to improve our own qualification, the quality, the skills, the skill sets. We need to be upskill, of course. You know, if we finish the school in the future, you will finish the school. Then you need to upskill. you cannot stop learning, right? Because apart from the AI, apart from the ChatGPT, apart from the Sciencebase or other applications, it will be other more to come. Then we need to learn. In the future, we might don't even use the accounting software. It might use something else. We don't know. Okay. Then the management at the organization, at the companies is need to have forward vision, forward looking. Think about what the future might bring to the organization and prepare either the employees for the university. They have to prepare the students. For yourself, you have to prepare yourself to be ready for that. Okay. Then the AI security. Well, we can because we might be harmed or hacked by the hackers. Then we can use the AI security. And in such, we also have to monitor such AI security as well. Okay. But this one to stress that the security, data security or the information security is very important, because the internal data or very important data should not be leaked out if we are not so careful. Okay, then the accounting discipline system should be reconstructed. Previously, we might be talking about when we learn accounting, at the end of the day, most of the students might like to be an auditor, right? They like to work in the big 4 companies. They might to work in the audit firms, the big audit firms, if not the big 4, but still the big and international audit firms or accounting firms, But the emphasis is on financial accounting a lot. But with the replacement of AI, that AI can help, the AI application can help to do the basic and repetitive information of works, then financial accounting might be reducing their emphasis. And the important is still there, but the process to get the end data, to get the financial statements is replaced, right, by the use of AI. But accountant is still important. We don't have to be scared too much, don't have to be worried too much if we develop ourselves, the personal development, in the skill set needed for the career, then the world will change. It's not new to say this, that we have the focus on the financial data, financial accounting and management accounting, or in other terms, you might have heard the manager accounting, right? But then it will kind of, the emphasis is more on financial accounting. Even now, even in the AI era, the more emphasis is still on financial accounting. However, if you look at the trend that the AI application can replace something, the need to perform such processes for to get the financial data, to get the financial accounting of financial statements as needed, it has been reduced, okay, by the use of the employment of the AI. Then we as accountants need to change ourselves, to some extent, that the focus might not be on financial accounting fully, but sway into the management accounting. Means that accountants analyze the data with the use of AI to help the management with the decision making. In the future, the owners of the companies might not need the accountants, basic accountants, because it's done by the application, by AI, but they need someone who can interpret the massive of data, the speeding of data, and variety type of data, to help the organization for the direction of the decision, for decision making in whatever the investments, whatever the decision might come. Okay, then we change the roles and responsibilities of accountants. Okay, not to provide the basic tasks anymore, but to be the partner of the partner of the management. Okay, then it's no longer accounting perspective oriented, but it will be the management oriented. Okay, this is the practically accounting disciplines might be combined with the various AI technology. Of course, we cannot against this change world. This one is the changing world. You have to, the accounting students need to learn about the data mining, about the intelligence decision support, and other technologies that might be needed. Okay, this one to strengthen the supervision. We will uplift ourselves, the roles and responsibility of ourselves, not just to do the basic works, but to help the management strengthen the supervision of the works, and strengthen the decision, supports the management with the financial information, quickly, instantly, using the data visualization. We need to learn that, the Power BI, the Tableau. If you have not learned, this is the time. You need to learn that one. Okay. And in conclusion, okay, we cannot stop the development or the advancement of the AI. We have to accept it. It's not, even though they say that the technology disruption, well, I see that technology actually is not we are not disrupted, but we have the helpers, the smart helper, to make our roles better and more important than the old days. Even though, well, if you don't keep up with the advancement of the technology of the AI, then you will be left off. You will be left behind. That the people will say, oh, AI have both positive and negative. For the negative, it's just for someone who are left behind, who are not developing themselves. Okay, I like to make a conclusion to you at this point. That, and also encourage you all. Either you are lecturers at the university like myself, or you are students. Most of you are students. You have a very bright future. You are in the era of technology. Like if you look at the professors at the university, they were born in year 19 something, right? But you born in year 20 something. Then you guys are in the right era, and technology is not the alien for you. I think that you will be a very bright future. You will have a very bright future. Keep learning and take grasp the most of the AI technology that come to us. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Okay, yes. Thank you for a wonderful presentation, Prof. Katie. Yeah. So it's nice. It's about the AA, artificial intelligence. And then this is when you said that the artificial intelligence is start 1955. Yeah. It's because that in the 10 years ago is new something, I think. But in fact, yeah, after that, I see that your presentation, artificial intelligence since 1955.
Even
So, right.
before I was born. That's it. But in the old day,
cool.
in the year 1950 something, 1955, it's the AI, it just was introduced, not so developed as nowadays. Like if you see like if we go to the airport, in China, they have the face recognition AI, right? We don't have, they don't have to test the scanning culture, that have the operator to help to check whether you are the right person as the passport you are holding. No, they use the AI. That's for example, then they just read the face. But if you make, and wonder that if I make the surgery, if I
Yeah,
have
sure.
plastic surgery, my face might change,
Make me shock, yeah.
yeah. And maybe that I cannot read. I have to do the more survey on this one.
Okay, but okay, so that all participant, you may ask, yeah, something to Prof. Katie. It's so
Yeah.
nice topic
Yeah.
today. Prof. Indra is about the technology too. Prof. Katie is technology too. Okay. Maybe you can to write a chat box, or you can to ask directly
Yeah.
with the show raise hand.
Yeah, to
mode.
raise hand and ask, this is like that we don't discuss before, about the topics with the Professor Indra Devi, but she's in Malaysia. I'm in Thailand, and I believe that the other speakers who might come after this will touch on this topic, because
Sure.
without appointment, without saying, oh, we are going to make in this theme, but it's the topic that we have to talk about, and you use the ChatGPT, right? And now this one is one of the sample of the AI that help us in this era. And I actually thanks for the companies that develop the ChatGPT, that it changed the way we do research. It's changed the way we write the literature review, we
Sure.
write the papers, it helps. But and this one I'm touching on the point of research that maybe some of you also do research as well, that when we check, once we use the ChatGPT just to get us the idea, but don't use the ChatGPT or fully trust the information generated by the ChatGPT, because once we write the paper, or the students write their assignments using the ChatGPT, there's a system, right, that we check the similarity index, right? We use turn it in software. And turn it in software can detect whether the paper, the assignments are written by AI.
Oh yeah, really? Oh, wow.
Of course, they detect. The system will detect whether that piece of writing, because this one is text-based. ChatGPT is a text-based, not picture-based. That whether this one has been generated by AI. That means you learn very little if you trust or everything. If you take it right away without modification.
Yes, make me easier, yeah, Prof. Okay, because that time is the next speaker. So if all participants still have question, maybe you can to write, and then the committee will send via email. Once again, terima kasih. Thank you so much, Prof. Katie from Rangsit University, Thailand.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, anytime, Prof.
Thank
okay,
you.
ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone, take care.
Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we will invite the next speaker from the Philippines, Prof. Felisa Rubaya. Sorry.
Hello.
Okay, hello, Prof. Sorry. How are you?
I'm okay, and salamat pagi to you, and good morning and magandang umaga from the Philippines.
Oke, selamat pagi kembali.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Felisa. So I think that time is yours to present your
Yes.
presentation. Thank you.
Yes, I will now share my screen. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. So like what happened or what the talk all about Dr. Indra and Dr. Kathy a while ago, we tackle about the evolve, the changing in terms of accounting. Here, my topic is all about multi-paradigm perspective, basically and specifically on accounting. So please help me and to uncover or rediscover what is the perspective on accounting. Thank you. So participants, you can just put in the chat box if you are aware about this logo. Okay, so you can just put it there, all about the waste management, the Enron. What are they, or what, or how do you define that logo? Okay, so maybe some of you may notice that these are all about let me check from the chat box. Okay, so these are all about scandal, accounting scandal. Let me start with the challenges, that accounting is going to have it. In my topic, multi-paradigm, we have multi, which is more than one. I have to define it because I'm a researcher. We have to define first the definition so that we can understand fully well what I have to tell you while this part of time. So a paradigm is more about pattern of something, a model, and all about the perspective is how you view things or how you look at it. So if you see that you are beautiful, I am beautiful, then let it be. Yeah, let it be. That's it. Then all about accounting. In layman's terms or in the dictionary, is simple as action or processes of keeping financial accounts. So this accounting scandal then previously. So with this, we need to do something in order to eliminate or lessen that one. So all about the perspective, how you view such things. So if you are an accountant, you view a certain thing with meaning more on numbers, right? So if you try to check about a computer, there are lots of computers. The first thing you have to check is there are 10 computers, right? Because you are more on numbers. But if you are not, you can check, oh, the computer is new, the computer is black, the computer is red, and so on. So that is two people can look at the exact same things and see something totally different and see something that is different from the point of view of the others. So for this time, we have the objectives. First is to understand better what is accounting at this point in time and to know the multi-paradigm perspective on accounting to motivate to do accounting research. Mind you, I have checked that we have two dimensions in here. First is a paradigm itself, and then later on, because we are in the research conference, I try to look at the research paradigms that we have to use in starting our research journey. So accounting is a measurement, processing, and communication of financial information about economic entities. This is based on Wikipedia. Mind you, the measurement, the processing, and communication. While the American Accounting Association defines accounting as the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgment and decision by users of the information. So there is an identification, the measuring, communicating, and of course, the same thing is more on economic, In my own book, this is published in the Philippine Copyright 2020, I have a definition which is a long one, Accounting is an expression of individual logical interpretation and skill in a quantitative description of what is happening to business transactions through analysis of business documents, journalizing, posting to a ledger, and general reports for direct and indirect users to have a sound, timely decision attributed for the sustainability and growth of the business. This is included in the book, The Secret of Successful Bookkeeping. Again, sustainability and growth relates to the economy. So right now, there are evolving other definition of accounting. basically we have this paradigm. So what is a simple way we define paradigm? Paradigm is a distinct set of, this is a distinct set of concepts or thoughts, okay? Patterns, including theories, okay? Postulates, and standing what constitute legitimate contributions to a certain field. Or, in short, this is a models or a framework, okay? That does derive from our beliefs. So there are characteristics of paradigm. You have to remember this one, TEFAM, okay? TEFAM deals with theory-driven, ethical, flexible, adaptable, and measurable. A theory-driven is, you have to check if a paradigm is a theory-driven, if it has a set of principles, which activity is based, right? Like ethical, moral, or the moral, which is at times we have to say that crossing to the streets wherein there are more jeepneys and buses is illegal, because you have to check on the traffic light to be signed as stop for the vehicle so that you can walk along the way. So there is more on ethical, on moral. The flexible is all about the able to easily modify to respond to attend circumstances. For the adaptable, we have to adjust to the new circumstances. And the measurable, you have to quantify a certain paradigm. There are basic assumptions under paradigm, which we can look at it. And as a multi-paradigm perspective on accounting, you have to define not only one, but the others as well. Axiology is all about the worth of something, how you value yourself, okay? It's all about the question on what, okay? So ontology is the nature of being what is actually exists. So I have the question, where is, okay? Then epistemology deals with the theory of knowledge. It's all about the mind's relation to reality, an investigation on what is, okay, being to be discovered. That is epistemology. And for the methodology, I have the question is all about is procedures on how you deal, on how to capture such activities, how you do something or investigate the environment and validates the knowledge gained. That is for methodology. So here we have paradigms perspective on accounting right now. If you try to look, as per my research, we have three. You can check on S, E, E, or C. Okay, to look at it. C. Spirituality, we have now the Islamic accounting. Ecology deals with environmental accounting. We have the economy as sustainability accounting. For spirituality, we have Islamic accounting, objectives of Islamic. Okay, so this is an alternative accounting that is in accordance to Sharia or Islamic law. Okay, Sharia compliance, stewardship, and accountability. So we have also in ecology. Again, this is also an alternative accounting that identifies resources used, measures, okay, communicates cost of companies or national economic impact in the environment. And last is economy, which is sustainability accounting. This relates to the sustainable development goals wherein the United Nations is addressed, and whereas all the nations in the world are achieving to have that by the year 2030, the SDG. Okay, sustainability accounting, which entails the systems, methods, and processes creating sustainability information for transparency, accountability, and decision-making purposes. For the three, okay, as per my research, there are 90% among the students who are inclined on this economy, other than the conventional way of accounting. And a little portion of it relates to the spirituality or the other Islamic accounting. Okay? So here, another dimension is about the research paradigm. This is a worldview about conducting research. Okay, Universitas Merdeka Malang is blessed to have your journal. As a researcher at this point in time, as an accounting researcher, you must not take a look only in accounting per se. You have to check also other journals like we have in the Universitas Merdeka Malang, the journal Ilmu Administrasi Publik, wherein they publish all about the public administration, governance, and policy. Because in that journal, you can also adapt to the role of the accountants. Okay? And the basic assumptions under the research paradigm is ontology, methodology, and epistemology. For the two main research paradigms, actually there are many paradigms. We have criticism, okay, postmodernism, but I want to specifically focus on the two, okay, which is interpretivism, or under the qualitative research methods, you will apply that, and the positivist quantitative research, which is under the quantitative research method. So interpretivist question rely on questioning on and observation. We don't, this is basically non-numerical. So that is included the research design or research method under qualitative research one. While positivist is of course more on the quantifiable, on measurement, relies on measurement and the reason, okay? So this is all about the two main research paradigms. We have interpretivist or interpretivism and positivist or positivism. Now, how do we identify a research paradigm? Of course, you have the criteria, and what are the criteria you have to check before finding your research paradigm. First is, the number one is you have a research problem. As we all know, the research problem is this is the difficulty that we want to eliminate. This is our challenge, okay? The next one is we need to have the research objectives. We have to check if how to do it, or what is the goal of our study in order to come up with the answer to that research problem. And the last one is hypothesis. This is a statement of expectation or prediction in undergoing the research. And that we can now have a research paradigm. Allow me to share with you the corporate governance performance of external auditors. This is already published, okay? My friend from the Philippines will just share the link so that you can check on it in the online platform, okay? The research problem that I have ongoing, this one is the assessment of corporate governance performance of external auditors, the client's query. I am more than 20 years of experience as a certified public accountant in the Philippines in public practice. And of course, having a certain accounting firm, I used to manage the questions and queries of my clients about, hey, Isa, how can I get a good external auditors for my business? So with that, with bombarding me with that questions, I used to research on this one, the corporate governance performance of external auditors. This is way back 2018. And how I have this research objectives with me, which is to appreciate the importance of corporate governance in terms of transparency, objectivity of financial records were reviewed, audited by external auditors. Is external auditors are also reviewing or auditing, or not at all, or just signing, okay? We don't know. So to do, another one is to do the corporate governance performance of external auditors. Maybe we need to something that we can assess, or we can inform the accountants to practice the corporate governance performance of external auditors in terms of their clients, so that the clients will be happy and the business will be happy, and of course will have a sustainability and growth, and the nation will also growing when the business are growing, right? Is that right? Yes, okay, you can put in a chat box if that's right. And of course, we all know that we want to be successful in all of our endeavors. And we have this hypothesis that I have, which is there is no significant difference in the assessment, okay, in terms of the external auditor's corporate governance performance in terms of highest educational attainment. And this is my research paradigm. Again, I use this mixed method. I have the input with the profile of the respondents corporate governance performance. So where do I get the corporate governance performance? This is through my qualitative research. I found out we have the efficiency, effectiveness, punctuality, accessibility, communication skills, knowledge, responsibility, and accountability. And then we have the process. This is the IPO model. Of course, designing the questionnaires. I have my self-made questionnaires wherein I asked the 1,000 corporations in Pasig and in Rizal province to answer my query all about the corporate governance performance. So I distribute it and collect it and then assess. And then the output is an assessment of external corporate governance performance. And of course, I have this ebook. After knowing this, I have this ebook with me, the external auditors checklist. And of course, you can check on the link about the corporate governance performance, which is already published online. And of course, there is a feedback at the end. So this is a research paradigm. The image, this is my pattern in conducting my research. Now, the importance of research is, of course, in creating, not only in defining or finding new methods or discovering, but of course, in helping the society, in helping the country, in helping the profession, in creating a sustainable for accountants, of course, auditors, and the clients itself. So in summary, a multi-paradigm perspective on accounting in terms, of course, of research is important in order to create an innovative way of sustainability and growth of both accountants, external auditors, and their clients, the businesses, and the whole wide world. Again, terima kasih. Thank you for listening. I have my gratitude gift for you guys. So please check on the email. I will be giving you the accounting research title, A Simplified Way on Conducting or Preparing Your Research Topic. Again, thank you. Congratulations to the organizers. Thank you for inviting me. And mabuhay from the Philippines. God bless us all.
Okay, all right. Terima kasih, Dr. Felisa Rubaya. It's so nice presentation actually. Yeah, it's about the percent is about the material, especially I maybe that just a little bit. Can you explain? It's about the environmental accounting.
Yeah.
This is new something is a part of the of the university. It's about the environmental accounting.
Yes, of course, environmental accounting is related to the biological asset we have in our accounting standards. This is basically how we conduct, okay, or how we can protect our environment through accounting. Yeah, it's basically the concept of that.
Yeah, because it needs something.
Yeah.
Okay. All participants, because that the time is 11:50, maybe that you have some question, you can chat via box, and then the committee will send via email. Yeah. So once again, thank you, Dr. Felisa Rubaya from Rizal Technology University, Philippines.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You.
Yeah, see you.
You.
Okay, so the next speaker, yeah. Ibu Dr. Prihatasi, MSc AK CSRS from Universitas Merdeka Malang, Indonesia. Halo Ibu.
Oke, halo Miss Nadila.
Oke, apa kabar Ibu?
Oh, baik-baik. Alhamdulillah
Oke.
baik. Ya, ya.
Baik, langsung Ibu untuk waktunya diserahkan ke Ibu. Monggo Ibu.
Ya. Terima kasih Nadila. Saya langsung share screen ya. Loh, kok sudah thank you. Oke. Oke. Thank you for honorable speakers and reviewer, and fourthly for all students and all participants in this International Accounting Student Conference. Good morning and best wish for all of us. I am Prihatasi from Merdeka University. Let me introduce our university. Our university is a private university, and from 4,300 higher education, we in the 49 rank. This is our rector. Okay. Nah, I want we can see the paper, all of paper in this conference. Oh, okay. Let me. Okay. Okay. There is 238 papers included in this conference, and we can divide it in according to the topics. There is most of topics in the financial accounting. Oh, let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nadia, this is a strong share. Oh, I see. Okay, that. I'm so sorry for this, not this convenience. Okay. Okay, I think it's correct. Okay. Now let we look the topics on and paradigm of the accounting research paper in IASG event. We have 239 papers included in this conference, and all those papers could be divided in the following topics. This is a most topic on financial accounting. There is 33%. The second is auditing. This is a paper who investigate the audit opinion or other area of audit. There is 19%. And the third is capital market. This research used the market data to analyze the use of accounting numbers. And the fourth is environmental accounting. This is included a green accounting. And the next, the behavior accounting is investigate the behavior of decision makers. And next, the management accounting. Management accounting is 9%. The provision accounting information, the management of the company. And the tax for behavior accounting is 5%. Tax and public sector accounting is 4%. There is a topic for all of paper in the International Accounting Student Conference now.
Ibu,
yeah.
sorry, may you zoom in your PowerPoint?
Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay, now, how if we decided these papers according to the paradigm, according to the theme of this IASG, multi-paradigm accounting, finance, and tax. Now, we know there is a mainstream paradigm 236 and the non-mainstream 25. There is a multi-paradigm in accounting. Okay, but we know all of most of paper in the mainstream paradigm. Okay. Now, as we know, accounting practice have developed very broadly. Accounting practice are developing today indicate the development in accounting science itself. Now, we know that accounting is an ever-changing discipline. And as a science, accounting has several scientific aspects that can change the order of form in social reality. We know that accounting theory has been shaped and formed by metaphorical interpretation that encourage accountants to construct and interpret the significance of merit the different accounting scheme for all of kind of vintage point. Okay. No, there is a shift of paradigm in accounting studies or accounting theory. As presented by Dr. Vanilla, early accounting, which has originally only understood as tool for reporting historical financial transaction. Accounting is the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgment and decision by user of the information. However, accounting is not only understand its technical activity. Accounting has a scientific construction that has the ability to explain and predict and interpret a complex economic phenomena. Okay, from the science side, we know that science is a collection of knowledge prepared with system and method to achieve a universal goal and verifiable. As a science, accounting accommodates many different perspectives from their knowledge. No, every day in life, oh, there is Pak Ketua hadir. Pak Ketum hadir, Bu Nadila. In every life of the world of business and accounting practice, one can have different perspective than the other. So same phenomena can look differently. This difference in perspective will lead to the emergence of various opinions. The diversity does not necessarily lead to division or elimination of one another. No, how a paradigm is divided. So, according to Morgan, paradigm of science, we can divide it to 4 paradigms. The first is functionalist paradigm. The second is interpretive paradigm. Third, the radical humanist paradigm, and the fourth, radical structuralist paradigm. But according to Chu, there is only 3 different paradigms. One, the functionalist or positive paradigm. Second, the interpretive paradigm, and the third is the critical paradigm. So, what's the functional paradigm? The functional paradigm often we know as positivism paradigm. According to the paradigm, the accounting theory objective is to explain and to predict accounting practice according to Watts and Zimmerman. And the interpretative paradigm, there is theory is obtained through the research process. Interpretative research is meant to interpret and understand the accounting theory and practice. And the third paradigm, the critical paradigm, according to the critical paradigm, a theory according to this paradigm is to liberate or transform. There is a common paradigm in accounting. So the third three paradigm can we look the assumption for one-to-one. Okay, in the mainstream perspective assumption, we know that belief knowledge for positive accounting theory is the theory separate from observation that can be used to verify or falsify theory. Hypothetico-deductive accepted as a scientific explanation, and the assumption of positivism supported by quantitative method and data collection and analysis. So, belief about physical and social reality assumption, empirical reality is external and independent to the subject. Humanity is also characterized as a passive object, not seen as a social reality. There is a difference from interpretive paradigm. Assume there is a single goal to utility maximization for individuals or organizations. And societies and organizations are essentially stable. Dysfunctional conflict can be managed through the design of appropriate accounting controls. And the other assumption, relationship between theory and practice, accounting set the mean, not the goal. Acceptance of existing institutional structures. There is assumption of perspective interpretation, little different from positive paradigm. Okay, assumption about belief knowledge, exploring scientific explanation of human intention. The adequate of the data is explored to a criteria, logical consistency, subjective interpretation, and agreement with common sense interpretation. Ethnography, exploration through case study and participant observation. There is a methodology of interpretation paradigm. So assumption, belief about physical and social reality. Okay, emerging social reality generates subjectively and through human interaction. All actions have meanings and intention that mutually support each other retrospectively. Assume there are social rules. Conflict is mediated by general theme of social meaning. Okay, assumption. The third assumption about relationship between theory and practice. Theory is only to explain action and understand how social rules produce and reproduce. Okay, there is a assumption for the third paradigm is a critical perspective. Assumption belief about knowledge, the criteria for assessing theory are temporal and context limited. Historical research, ethnography, and case studies are widely used in this perspective. And belief about physical and social reality, humanity has potential in itself that is alienated. Empirical reality is objective. real relationships are transformed and reproduced through subjective interaction. Human intention rationally is accepted, but critically analyzed is consciousness and ideology. There is always a fundamental conflict in society. And the third assumption about relationship between theory and practice, a critical perspective say that theory has a critical imperative identification and elimination of domination and ideological practice. So, according to Chua, term of positivism paradigm as a mainstream paradigm. So, let we look the data. Most of papers in the IASC is a mainstream paradigm perspective. Other than positivism paradigm, this is denoted as non-mainstream. Why we divided to two paradigms? As the assumption that outsider of the positivism paradigm has not yet become a reference social science research, including in accounting. Okay. The diversity finally conclusion for me, the diversity of paradigm introduced has an impact on students by opening students' minds that there are many choices in conducting research. As researcher, students can appreciate everything that are known in a research result. I think it's our presentation. Thank you, Ms. Nadila. I hope this presentation will be useful for audience. Thank you, Nadila.
Thank you so much for Dr. Prihat Asih. Luar biasa Bu presentasinya. So I have to take some conclude that her presentation is about the critical perspective assumption is very important as a content that we must know. We have to like analysis data, we can to make some decision, and then we believe about knowledge, believe about physical and social reading, and the last one, relationship between the practice. So we have to combine that of the items. Actually that if you have to question, all participants, you need to write the checkbox, and then the committee will send via email to the Dr. Prihat Asih. Okay. Thank you so much. So all guest speaker had done the presentation. By the way, thank you so much for Prof. Indra Devi, Prof. Kathy, and then for Dr. Felisa, and the last one, Ibu Dr. Prihat. Thank you so much for your presentation. And then, okay, so all presenter, please stay in the main room because that you will be joining the paralysis session soon. So please to wait the main room, Okay, before that we closing the event, I have pantun because that all here in Indonesia, Maybe that is so interesting pantun because I read last minute. Okay, jalan-jalan ke Jawa Timur, jangan lupa mampir ke Kota Malang. Untuk partisipan tersayang, kuucapkan terima kasih. Oke, Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.